The disconnect and the pole for a manufactured home does not have to be fused. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifies requirements for the main disconnect serving a manufactured home. The NEC mandates that the main disconnect must be a circuit breaker or a fuse. The circuit breaker or fuse is required to have a rating not exceeding the ampacity of the feeder conductors. The feeder conductors are defined as the wires that connect the disconnect to the electrical panel located inside the manufactured home. It is crucial to correctly size the circuit breaker or fuse protecting the feeder conductors based on their ampacity. Ampacity refers to the current carrying capacity of a conductor, which is determined by factors such as the conductor material, size, insulation type, and installation conditions. NEC Table 310.15 provides ampacity ratings for various types of conductors. While the NEC mandates that the main disconnect be either a circuit breaker or a fuse sized appropriately for the feeder conductors, it does not explicitly require the disconnect itself to be fused. This means that you can use a non-fused disconnect switch, as long as the feeder conductors are properly protected by a circuit breaker or fuse located either at the supply end or within the disconnect enclosure itself. The purpose of the main disconnect is to provide a means of quickly and safely disconnecting all power to the manufactured home in case of an emergency or for maintenance purposes. The disconnect must be readily accessible to the homeowner or emergency personnel. Additionally, the disconnect must be clearly labeled to indicate its function. Several factors need consideration when selecting and installing the main disconnect for a manufactured home. Firstly, the ampacity rating of the disconnect switch must be equal to or greater than the ampacity of the feeder conductors. Secondly, the disconnect switch must be suitable for the environmental conditions at the installation location, such as temperature, moisture, and exposure to sunlight. Thirdly, the disconnect switch must comply with all applicable local and national electrical codes. When installing the disconnect, ensure that all connections are made properly and torqued to the manufacturer's specifications. Improperly tightened connections can lead to overheating and potential electrical hazards. Also, be certain to ground the disconnect enclosure properly following NEC Article 250 guidelines for grounding and bonding. Grounding ensures a safe path for fault current in the event of an insulation failure. Here's a breakdown of the key components and considerations. Firstly, the feeder conductors. These conductors supply power from the main disconnect to the service panel inside the manufactured home. Secondly, the service panel, also known as the load center. This panel distributes power to the various circuits within the home. Thirdly, the main disconnect. This switch allows for the complete disconnection of power to the manufactured home. Fourthly, overcurrent protection. This protection is provided by either a circuit breaker or a fuse. Lastly, grounding. This is achieved by connecting the grounding electrode conductor to a grounding electrode system, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. In summary, while the NEC does not mandate a fused disconnect at the pole for a manufactured home, it's imperative to provide adequate overcurrent protection for the feeder conductors. This protection can be achieved by using a circuit breaker or fuse in conjunction with a non-fused disconnect switch. Always consult with a qualified electrician and adhere to all applicable electrical codes to ensure safe and compliant installation. Remember, safety is paramount when working with electrical systems. Always de-energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Understanding the specific requirements outlined in the NEC is critical for ensuring electrical safety in manufactured homes. Failing to adhere to these requirements can result in serious consequences, including electrical fires, injuries, and property damage. By carefully selecting and installing the appropriate components and following all applicable codes, you can help to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. Furthermore, regular inspections and maintenance of the electrical system in a manufactured home are essential for preventing problems. Check for any signs of damage, such as frayed wires, cracked insulation, or loose connections. Address any issues promptly to avoid potential hazards. When selecting a disconnect switch, consider the voltage and amperage requirements of the manufactured home. The disconnect switch must be rated to handle the full load of the home's electrical system. It's also important to choose a disconnect switch that is designed for outdoor use and is resistant to weather conditions. Some disconnect switches are enclosed in weatherproof enclosures to protect them from rain, snow, and other elements. In addition to the main disconnect, there may be other disconnects required for specific appliances or equipment in the manufactured home. For example, an air conditioner or a heat pump may require its own dedicated disconnect switch. These disconnects allow for the safe and easy servicing of these appliances. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the installation of these disconnects. When working with electrical panels, it's crucial to identify the different circuits and their corresponding breakers or fuses. Use a circuit tester to verify that the power is off before working on any circuit. Label each circuit breaker or fuse clearly to indicate the appliance or equipment that it controls. This will make it easier to identify and troubleshoot problems in the future. Always refer to the manufacturer's instructions and the NEC for specific guidance on the installation and maintenance of electrical systems in manufactured homes. If you have any questions or concerns, consult with a qualified electrician. Here are some additional points to consider. Firstly, local codes. Local electrical codes may have additional requirements beyond those specified in the NEC. Secondly, permits. Check with your local building department to determine if a permit is required for the electrical work you are planning to do. Thirdly, inspections. Once the electrical work is completed, it may need to be inspected by a qualified inspector to ensure that it meets all applicable codes. Fourthly, documentation. Keep a record of all electrical work that is performed, including permits, inspections, and any modifications to the electrical system. This documentation will be helpful for future maintenance and repairs. Fifthly, qualified personnel. Only qualified electricians should perform electrical work on manufactured homes. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it's important to have the knowledge and experience to do the job safely and correctly. Sixthly, safety precautions. Always take safety precautions when working with electricity, such as wearing insulated gloves and using a circuit tester to verify that the power is off. Seventhly, proper tools. Use the correct tools for the job. Using the wrong tools can damage electrical components and create safety hazards. Eighthly, avoiding shortcuts. Don't take shortcuts when working with electricity. Follow all applicable codes and manufacturer's instructions. Ninthly, staying informed. Stay up to date on the latest electrical codes and safety practices. Tenthly, seeking help when needed. If you're not sure how to do something, ask for help from a qualified electrician. The NEC also addresses the requirements for grounding and bonding in manufactured homes. Grounding provides a safe path for fault current to return to the source, while bonding ensures that all metal parts of the electrical system are electrically connected. Proper grounding and bonding are essential for preventing electrical shock hazards. The grounding electrode system for a manufactured home typically consists of a ground rod or a metal water pipe that is connected to the grounding electrode conductor. The grounding electrode conductor is then connected to the service panel and to the metal frame of the manufactured home. Bonding is achieved by connecting all metal parts of the electrical system, such as metal conduits, metal boxes, and metal appliances, to the grounding system. The NEC specifies the size and type of conductors that must be used for grounding and bonding. It's important to follow these requirements carefully to ensure a safe and effective grounding system. In addition to grounding and bonding, the NEC also addresses the requirements for surge protection in manufactured homes. Surge protection devices, or SPDs, protect electrical equipment from voltage surges caused by lightning strikes or other disturbances. SPD are typically installed at the service panel and at individual appliances. The NEC requires SPD to be installed in certain locations, such as in areas that are prone to lightning strikes. When selecting an SPD, it's important to choose one that is rated for the voltage and current of the electrical system. It's also important to choose an SPD that is listed by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories or ETL Intertech. Regular maintenance of the electrical system in a manufactured home can help to prevent problems and extend the life of electrical equipment. This includes checking for loose connections, damaged wiring, and corroded contacts. It's also important to keep the electrical panel clean and free of debris. If you notice any signs of electrical problems, such as flickering lights, tripping breakers, or burning smells, contact a qualified electrician immediately. Ignoring these problems can lead to more serious issues and potential safety hazards. When making any modifications to the electrical system in a manufactured home, it's important to follow all applicable codes and regulations. This includes obtaining the necessary permits and inspections. It's also important to use qualified electricians to perform the work. Improperly installed electrical wiring can create safety hazards and violate electrical codes. By taking these precautions, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system in your manufactured home. Remember that electricity is a powerful force and should be treated with respect. Always follow safety precautions when working with electricity and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Understanding the electrical requirements for manufactured homes is essential for ensuring the safety and well-being of occupants. By following the guidelines outlined in the NEC and consulting with qualified professionals, you can help to create a safe and reliable electrical system.